I have 400 plus cards going to PSA right now to get graded. Let's talk about it. For those of you that have not kept up with my channel and what I'm doing with PSA, CGC, let's talk about it a little bit before I kind of get into the cards. And I'm going to actually show off the cards that I'm actually submitting to PSA. So, PSA has been on my back burner for a little while in regards to bulk submissions. Basically, a lot of the cards I own are collection items that are stay in my collection. I won't be flipping them. A handful I'll be flipping probably, but there's a lot of them, and it's going to be extremely expensive. So I'm just kind of waiting for the price to come down. But have it be that PSA today, essentially today being Monday, announced $19 bulk tier submissions starting in January. Whereas right now it's $15. So I said, F it. I really don't want to wait for it to become $12 or $10. It could be a year from now at this rate, especially bouncing back to 19. That blows. So I'm really excited to get these cards sent off. Literally 400 plus cards, 5 different TCGs. And let me tell you, every card was basically gone over with a fine tooth comb because I've slowly added to this lot of cards to go to PSA. It's not like I just went and grabbed a bunch of cards and didn't want to do a quick grade. I meticulously have gone through these as they've come across in collection purchases or wherever, however I purchased them. So a 40% PSA 10 rate would be a failure for me here. And that is scary as hell, given what I've seen lately in PSA returns from other collectors. So I think I'm good at grading cards, and we're going to find out here in the next couple months, 2-3 months. Let's see what we can do. I'm hoping I don't get completely wrecked, but run it. Let's check out some of these cards, shall we? Gonna go through these as quickly as I can, kind of explaining where they've come from, what I paid, possibly. Maybe not that much detail, but just go through these explaining my thought process in grading these. So these are a bunch of Kickstarter hollows and a couple of reverses. Maybe that's the only reverse, but a bunch of hollows I purchased off Heritage a while back. They were selling raw MetaZoo cards along with some graded ones. I picked up the graded ones, actually got a Kickstarter Mothman PSA 9 regular hollow for like $250. That even today, the auctions are going for like $800. So this was actually the last time in a Heritage Weekly they sold MetaZoo cards, and I cleaned them out pretty much. So that was pretty cool. So I'm looking forward to getting those cards graded. This here is the release event medal for MetaZoo Cryptid Nation, the Kickstarter, down at Collecticon. And I thought it was pretty interesting. On the card, it says it's kind of like Pokemon, but it has blood sometimes. And I didn't have to sell my card to buy it. Someone probably. Love the poncho illustrations. Dude does a lot of gore. Highly respect it. But this was a pretty cool card. It's last sold, I think, $200 in a PSA 10. Last couple MetaZoo cards. This is in the trading cards that just came out recently. Kickstarter they did. This is Ingrid Cold. Looks like Giovanni, but he printed on a Joker card. This thing's freaking dope. So if one of these gets a 10, I'm sending it to Retrospecs, because this would be a cool card I would love to have in my collection if I was a Giovanni fan. So for Magic the Gathering, I literally just bought these. These are like the newest. Actually, I'm lying. These are not the newest. There's one other card I just got in today. But these are the Stranger Things Secret Lair holographic cards. Wanted to send these to PSA. Thought they had a pretty good shot at a 10 across the board, except for maybe one of them. But this card's pretty cool. Kind of show this off here real quick. The upside down card, so it's double printed on both sides, which is pretty sweet. Really curious to see what they put on the front of that. World of Warcraft. So I haven't submitted these in a long time, and I'm really looking forward to doing it. I essentially own the population already of Leroy Jenkins for the 2 different sets he was printed in. That's the original Heroes of Heroes of Azeroth, and then the set from 2010 Archives. So submitting all of those, just I haven't sold any, just kind of sitting on them. You know what I mean? Not even building a market because I haven't sold any except one really good friend. So because he wanted one. Now getting into some Yu-Gi-Oh. There's a bunch of Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. So these are just the hollows in my hand. So there's not a whole lot of hollows, but Dark Hole. This was picked up at Denver Collecticon, which was pretty awesome. It was nice being able to grade it in person. This was from my recent purchase of the Legend of Blue Eyes collection. Mystical Elf, those 3 cards came from that. I purchased this Yatagarasu off of eBay. This is from the newest set. This is a Starlight Rare. One in about, I forget what it was, 1 in 10 cases? Or 1 in 11 boxes, I think, or something like that. So, just over a case to get one of these types of holographic cards. Hinokaga Tsuchi. So this was from the Legacy of Darkness box I had opened. Working towards that set because it's essentially my favorite set. And just, there's going to be some 9s in there. Don't care too much. I'll take a 9 or 10 for that set I'm making. This card should be a 10. Otherwise, it's not worth grading. But the centering's almost off. But a 9's not bad as well. I like just having these nostalgic cards is cool. This was also a pickup from Denver Collecticon. Really good centering. Has a shot at a 10, but probably a 9. Necro Valley should be a 10. Backup Soldier, hoping for a 10. Mobius, hoping for a 10. This is the most recent card I've gotten in. So this card here, I purchased off an eBay seller. And the card is Gem Mint on the front. Amazing centering on the front. And the back is pretty damn good as well. So, really looking forward to getting this thing back. I'd say almost a guaranteed 9 shot at a 10. Probably should go to CGC because of that. But, yeah, I don't care. It's $15 right now. So, a little bit more Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm going to go through these ones kind of quick. Basically, the rest of these Yu-Gi-Oh! Ones were from my big collection purchase. A lot of first edition Legend of Blue Eyes cards. This is half. This is half of them. These are only a few rares, primarily non-hollow commons, and just everything. Pretty much almost one of every card from the set. A lot of duplicates. But pretty much I went through this, pulled out about 40 cards that were not any chance at a 10, and likely a low chance 9. All of these have great centering, have a really good shot at a 10. A 9, in my eyes, is not great by any means. And really hoping for 10s on pretty much way more than 40% of these. 40% 10 rate on these would be abysmal. I would be probably crying, and I'd quit collecting cards for the rest of my life. But yeah, like I said, most of these cards are minty. They are pretty much gem mint. I think this one here might be a 9 just because this one had a little bit of whitening, but it's a rare, and I'm going for a 9 set, so I was like, F it, it's a rare. But yeah, these packs themselves, just a pack to pull one of these is, they were selling at $500 at Collecticon. The box is $20,000. You get 24 packs. You do the math. But yeah, so just to get a rare, it's not that common. It's a rare. Spike Seadra. But these cards just, a lot of people aren't set collecting these, but this is the first edition base set for Yu-Gi-Oh! In English, is Legend of Blue Eyes White Dragon. Very cool, nostalgic cards. The power creep essentially eliminated all of these cards rather quickly. Not a whole lot of these see in play. My hands are running out of space, but just to give you an idea, there's a bunch of stuff. And we also have some of these. So, there's some other stuff in here besides Legend of Blue Eyes. These cards here, Elemental Hero Avian, and Clayman. In PSA 10, these are going for over $100. These are literal commons. Des Lakuta, I'm grading this because it's like one of my favorite cards of all time. It's not even good. Similar to Poison Draw Frog. He should be a 10. This guy should be a 10. Giving it to my friend. This card's awesome just because it was a beast back in the day. And a bunch of Metal Raiders, first edition PSA 10s. Purchased those off of a guy also on eBay. Just a giant lot of Metal Raiders. This is the second set of Yu-Gi-Oh! So just working towards some of those. Here's another partial stack. Green Phantoms, Trial of Hell, Skull Servant. Looks like it should be glow in the dark. But yeah, really excited to get these out off my desk. Man, like I said, I've been building up these cards to get graded for a long time. You're going to see this next lot of the actual Pokemon cards I'm sending out. The Pokemon is the largest quantity by far. By far. And excited to show you guys kind of what I'm sending out. Yep, so this is just the balance of all the Legend of Blue Eyes first edition cards. Nothing too fancy, but all very minty, like I said. Went through with a pretty fine-tooth comb, took out all the jank, kept the mint, shooting for 10s, well above 40%, like I said. I am really curious to see how I do, because, man, I tell you what, I am effing terrified. But, like I said, I feel like I did a pretty good job pre-grading. We'll find out. I'll just show off these cards real quick. These are my friends. I'm assuming these are the only cards in here that are not mine. These are my friend Vic. These cards should all get PSA 10s, which would be a pretty nice little return for Modern. Not going to lie. 3 Radiant English, Umbreon Gold Star, and Charizard from the Celebrations. Now, time for the effing heat. Y'all been waiting for it. Y'all been waiting for it. This is not something I usually grade. But at CollectCon Long Beach, had a really good longtime friend on Facebook, Ken Smith, walk up to my desk, and we'd crack some packs. Finally sending this out to get graded. He was super hyped. I had never opened it or wasn't really sure what the hit card would be, but this is essentially the hit card. A gold rare out of the sticker box, which is pretty sweet. This I need in a 10. This is a blueback Zapdos from Top Sun. Really tough to grade these at PSA. Got this actually off of the site that should not be named. So really looking forward to that. I also need this one in a 10. Love this Zapdos and excited to grade it myself. Got this from an LGS recently. Easily should be a Gem Mint 10, which will be pretty dope. Deoxys, literally I'm grading it because it's a slam dunk 10, or else I wouldn't be grading it. The boy is mint. No whitening. Easy sub. Similar to these cards, I am grabbing and grading these cards because they should be slam dunk 10s. When I say slam dunk, I'm talking there should not be any whitening on these cards. I'm not trying to waste anybody's time. I'm not trying to get a 9 Black Star promo Pikachu right now. These are the cards I open out of my pack on the channel. So yeah, I just had a backlog of just like minty first edition WotC stuff. Even these I'm submitting because like a PSA 10 Pinsir Unlimited, this thing's got no whitening on it. Should be a slam dunk 10. It's gonna get me more than $15, I would hope. Haven't looked up the pricing, but really good condition. This one will get a 9. I'm submitting it just because it's a first edition Sabrina's Gengar and it's pretty expensive. Probably should go to CGC just because it has a little white nick on it. The rest of these should be 10s. Man, I'm nervous. I'm going to get God slapped and I'm going to get 7s and 8s. Oh my, like when I get notified that my grades are available, I'm literally going to sharp myself. I'm going to sharp myself. Raichu first edition. Similar case. Should be minty. You tell me. Looks pretty good. Aerodactyl. So this was out of... These cards here were out of my base set. The basic starter deck that I opened at Denver CollectCon. And a couple other cards additional. But yeah. A lot of these. I pulled out all the ones that were not centered well. And no plans of grading the non-centered ones. I don't want 9s. Aiming for 10s. And I did pull out a handful. I even pulled out a handful of energies. These ones should be like slam dunk 10s. These sell decently. These are all the Japanese ones out of the starter deck. Decent sale price on some of those. So $15. If I get a 9, I'm getting wrecked. But I'm pretty confident. Pretty confident in those. Next, 4 stacks. I have 4 stacks of vending series. This size. So I don't know if I'm going to go through all of them. But literally, it's all vending series. And I absolutely love these cards. Seeing these for the first time for me was pretty awesome. Not all these might get 10s. Some of them might get 9s because of centering. But basically, I peeled 80% of these off of their sheets. And the other 20% came out of essentially what was a gem mint collection that the dude had stored in his binder. So, really looking forward to getting 9s or 10s. Hopefully more than 40% 10 rate. Because I did pull out some of the bags that I thought were not great, and I ended up grading that stack at CGC. So I graded the stack of stuff that was like, had some whitening, or had a ding. I graded all of those at CGC just to see how they graded these cards, because historically they were pretty tough on non-hollows, from my experience, and I got some 9.5s and some 9s and some 8.5s, so I was pretty excited. And these cards are better conditioned than those. This Mewtwo's off center as hell. This will not get a 10, but it'll slam dunk 9. There's another there's a Zapdos. I don't have the Zapdos from the set. Haven't purchased it because I knew I had this one to get graded. I think there's actually 2 in here. I absolutely love this Snorlax. It's so dope. Yeah, so really looking forward. I love these Haunters. Just so, like, it's so cool just seeing, like, these, the Versus cards, the sets that didn't come out in English that you're just, I'm sure there's people watching this now, which is so cool that this, let me know down below if this is the first time you're seeing, like, these cards, because for me, like, seeing these for the first time was awesome. There's so many different unique arts that obviously they never came to the U.S., which is pretty crazy to me. Not rare by any means. Like, they're out there for sure. Like, these are not thousands or hundreds. Like, I think of the Uyama Pikachu and a PSA 10, which there's one in here, one Uyama Pikachu. That card is the closest thing to $1,000. So, to give you a little perspective, we're not going to retire on this by any means. But, so the Uyama Pikachu, I mentioned I had 2 different sets in here. I had one that was a Gem Mint set, and the other 80% I ripped off the actual the vending sheets. So I graded the Uyama Pikachu from the vending set, and it got a PSA 10. That one I sent a long time ago. Knowing that it was a 10, knowing I could flip it really quick for a lot of money, and I did. And hopefully this one gets a 10 again. This Hitmonchan's dope. All of these. Hitmonlee, Aerodactyl, Kabuto, just so cool. Definitely deserves a spot in the Pokenomics Museum, I hope. Some of these cards. We're getting down to the tail end of it. But some of these trainers even, like, just so unique. And a lot of these have, like, 2 arts. This is, like, SM Pratt's favorite Voltorb. Got the Kamiya Voltorb. He's always got, it's like the only thing in his desk not in rotation. It's always on his desk. But yeah, definitely some duplicates in here. I would say it's probably 95% of an entire set in here. I know because I did pull out cards that weren't mint, I want to say I don't have the full set in here. Which is kind of sad. Not going to lie. But we'll find out. When it comes back, I'll definitely... There's the other Zapdos. Look at the centering on that thing. That thing's going home in a 10. Look at the back. No whitening. None of these cards. None of these have whitening. The only things that's going to hold any of these back is the centering, or if they complain about how it was peeled off of the sheet, sometimes you can get slapped with a 6. Like if all of these came back with a 6, we're going to riot. It would be an absolute effing disaster. $15 a card. And I'm talking easily 400, probably 450 cards here. So we're dropping a lot of money. Just call it that. Kadabra. Pretty sick Kadabra. This is going to be an expensive return. I'm sending this one in. Love the Pokemon machine. Really cool. Seeing the cards getting printed. Like hand-drawn. That's pretty cool. Hypno, Kadabra. I've never owned a single like Masaki Holo. There's the Uyama Pikachu. Centering is pretty good. Better than the other 10 I got, actually. The other 10 I got on this card was pretty cheeks, not going to lie. This one's pretty good. Last but not least, the rest of the vending series. It's the small little stack I got left. Let me know what you think. But yeah, let me know if you've ever seen these. If you haven't and I showed them to you, I'm honored. These are really cool cards to see for the first time. There's so much out there in Pokemon. Like every month I'm seeing new stuff come out that I've never seen. Even if it's like just a promo from Japan or something like that. There's easily a deep rabbit hole. So what do you think? What do you think? I think this is going to be awesome. 450-ish cards. Haven't got a full count on it. What am I at right now? I'm uploading it as I speak to PSA. It's only at 60 right now. I'm at 60. And the 60 of them was... maybe I'm over 450. We'll see. But this is 60 cards. This is 60. This is all the non-Pokemon TCG stuff. And none of the Yu-Gi-Oh! So this is gonna be awesome. I'm really looking forward to it. Excited to finally get these off my shelf and get them back here in the next probably 2-3 months, I would say. Let's roll. Let's roll, PSA. Don't F me, please.